my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go. It won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like.
Hello, hey y'all. This is episode 11.
Episode
11 of Mama's on the Move. I am Brandy Hunter-Lewis.
And I am Keisha Johnson.
And we are again excited to be here. We got some good stuff to talk about today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It is real. I think everybody's going to be able to relate.
Yes, everyone.
Everybody's going to be ready to relate. So let's just kind of catch up. What you been up to, B? What's been going on?
Girl,
how's the diet coming?
The diet is coming. You know, I'm coming off of a weekend. We went on a marriage retreat. We were down in Tennessee. And, you know, I committed to this and said, you know what, I'm just going to not drink. Gonna only eat, you know, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, fish. But girl, when your life is extremely stressful as mine is right now, I had to be a little easy on myself. So I just did it during the week, and then on the weekends I can eat normal, you know.
Right.
So,
that's what a lot of people do, though.
Yeah,
a lot of people do that. But I know also you have to be careful with that, because sometimes what you do on the weekend can just take away what you did on the week.
But I still tempered it some. You know, I just wasn't going all the way in. Mm-hmm. So I've did maintain my weight. I haven't lost any more than our last episode. I said I lost 8 pounds. I'm still at that. Mm-hmm. So I still got what? It's what, the 5th?
You got 7 pounds to lose in
I got 7 pounds
in a week.
to lose.
You can do
and
that.
I can do it. I can do it. So
we're not going to lunch today?
Well, we can, but I'm just gonna eat lean meat and vegetables and
I don't
not
drinking.
Go if you're gonna do
not
that,
drinking.
Then. Yeah. So anyway, so that's still in the works. You know, I am still committed, and I do intend to lose the 7 pounds before the end of the month. And I just want to talk about the marriage retreat, because that was so much. We needed that trip so much.
A girl who follows me on Instagram that I've kind of become cool with, they were there. Her and her husband.
Really?
Her name is Grace.
Grace.
Yes.
So Grace introduced herself to me and said, you know, I love the podcast and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. That,
yeah.
You know, and girl, when I tell you, I wish we could dig a little deeper into just what kind of, we got some real revelation. I mean, some real like eye-opening, just revealing type of, girl, we had a psychotherapist there, right? One of our sessions. Mm-hmm. And they asked these questions of us, and we had to make 2 columns on. If the question applied to you, then you would give yourself 5 points. If the question didn't apply to you, then you would give yourself -5 points. So she touched on things like, you know, and it all referred to your childhood. Mm-hmm. All those questions referred to your childhood. So one was like, were you raised in a single family household? Were you exposed to? Did any of your parents, you know, use drugs? Were you in a household where there were more than 6 or 7 kids? You know, I'm trying to think of some of the other questions that were just so after you tallied up all the questions, it was about 23 questions, and you came up with this number, and the number was very just revealing, because it made you one, look at your partner in a way that, okay, your life experiences as a young person, as a child, as a young adult, have totally influenced and shaped how you
100%.
How you think, how you react to things. It made me think about, okay, my mom and dad divorced when I was a little girl, like 5 years old, right? So I was raised in a single family household. I have this thing where I'm just not real big on PDA, public displays of affection, right? Mm-hmm. And it made me, this was probably the first time I've ever even given this that much consideration, because I've never seen my mother or a woman relate to that way with a man, you know, show a man affection in public. And I'm like, wow, that's deep. And this I mean, behind closed doors, it's all good. But I'm just saying, like, that's part of my makeup. Like, I wasn't exposed to it. So it's nothing that just naturally happened for me. And a man needs that too.
Absolutely.
You know, a man needs that. So, girl, it was just so revealing, and it helped us to kind of understand each other better, and how we can also, you know, help meet that person where they are in those areas, because, you know, I mean, it's just kind of how you were how your makeup is, how you were made. But it was really good. It was really, really good. And I'm like, I can't wait till my girl Keisha gets married, because that would mean in 2021 she will be coming to this marriage retreat with us.
Yes,
honey.
I'm claiming it.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it.
That sounds so cool though. But yeah, I said I gotta tell B that Grace, said she was like, I met Brandy this weekend at a marriage retreat. And you guys, pardon my voice. It's really good today compared to the way it was yesterday, but I'm still struggling a little bit. So pardon my hoarseness. But yeah, she was excited that she had a chance to meet you. And I had somebody the other day. Well, we'll talk about that when we get into our today's topic, and I'll mention that to you. But that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was
exciting.
cool.
That's
It was
exciting.
cool. So outside of that, and then just playing catch up with work, it's a new year. My business is just, oh my God, it's booming. And on top of that, training my new assistant, getting her acclimated. It's stressful.
Yeah,
It's stressful.
but good stress.
It's a good
if
stress.
it's a such thing.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
stress. So
Yeah.
just trying to manage all of that. And then also, I just took my braids down.
Yeah,
and
hence the we going back
hence
for the
back to the
Amish look
hats
today.
Yeah, back to the hats.
Okay.
And that's why I'm
your hair
late.
looks so pretty around the
No, but that's why I'm late. I was late today. I have to confess I was late because I went through a few outfit changes because certain hats don't look right because my hair has grown out to a point. I used to rock all the hats before, but I didn't have all this kitchen hair in the back that has grown out. But now this has grown out, so only certain hats look right. So I was struggling this morning, and underneath this hat, I kind of look like Mick Jagger. You
Oh, yeah, I
remember
know what you're
the
talking
kind
about.
of
Yeah,
shaggy?
yeah.
No, it's a David Bowie. It was
Well, David Bowie had a shag.
yeah,
a flat
yeah.
out
So that shag look, that's kind of what I got going on underneath
Yeah.
here. And it's like, it's struggle bus. It's struggle bus because it's hard to maintain these curls. So I'm going back to the braids.
Okay.
The braids are a good way for me to just,
Transition
transition,
from the short.
grow this hair out and not have to worry about it. So yeah, so next podcast, you'll see me rocking the braids.
Back in the
again.
braids.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
Yeah. But that's
Okay.
it. That's a good recap of all. That's been my 2 weeks.
That's been your 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Gosh, it seemed I was just telling Keyshawn today. It feel like we here every week.
Girl,
I mean, we do this twice a month, but it seems
almost
like
February,
It is.
Keish.
Girl, listen, and that's another thing. I just decided I'm gonna start my new year February 1st. Well, actually after Super Bowl, because I haven't been able to accomplish anything that I said I was gonna do. So I feel like. I mean, people always say don't wait to start, but I'm gonna just wait. So my last couple of weeks have been good, a little challenging with work. Things started off good.
Yeah.
But it's just I still struggle trying to find balance.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think I went through this little thing because, DJ, like we talked about last week, has a car now, and I was so conditioned to getting him
Having
and
to
dropping
do-
him off and having
yeah.
I didn't really I have no excuse now but to continue to really grow my business. I'm like, I used to have him as an out, but I miss being that part of being a mom.
Yeah.
But I've gotten past it now.
Yeah.
But the first couple of weeks was a little rough. My baby just getting up, going to school, or not even being with his uncle and stuff. So it's been a bit of a transition. I went on a date.
Okay. How did that go?
We're not going to be going out again. I was like, he said something to me that I thought was so bizarre. He asked me if I had guy friends, and I said, well, naturally, yeah, I have some guy friends. And he said, like, well, what do you mean? Like, how close are y'all? And I was like, oh, just a friend. Like, I know their wives or their girlfriend,
Right.
or whatever. He was like, oh, okay. And he kind of sat there with a perplexed look, and then he said, so you would go out to lunch with them, or I was like, yeah. I said, in particular, I was telling him about Jason. I said, in particular, Jason and I go to lunch every couple of months, catch up. Like we went out yesterday.
Yeah.
He was like, oh no, that would never work for me. And I said, really?
Wow.
And he said, yeah. And
This
I said,
first date. These first
first
date
date
conversations.
conversation. And I guess because he's looking for marriage.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to get it out, which I respected.
Right.
And I respectfully told him we wouldn't work. Like,
Yeah.
you seem like a great guy, but he was like, it's nothing to do with me being insecure, but I'm like, it was just very,
You
it was
think
very
not?
stressful for me. I was like, check, please. Like, I knew this was going down here fast. You know what I mean? So
But it's almost good it came out in that first
yeah,
date.
well, he
So
was a
before
little
you have-
odd. I mean, first of all, his eyebrows was a little too arched. That's why I said I don't like meeting people online, man. Like, I just want to be able to just, sit at the bar, cross my legs, and meet
Yeah.
somebody, or whatever, at the gym, at the baseball park, whatever. But anyway, that was a little interesting. But other than that, it's just been work for me. It's
Yeah.
just been pretty much about work and trying to balance the whole keeping it a real estate academy and my clients,
Yeah.
and life and just all that kind of stuff.
So balancing it, what do you feel has worked for you?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're struggling with that.
I'm struggling with balance.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with balance right now. So
My mom texted me this morning. She said, I'm warning you. I took a picture of your Christmas tree, and she said, if y'all don't have that down by February 1st, I'm gonna blast you on Facebook. And I said, Mama, you really can't comprehend how busy my life is right now.
Right.
Like I can't even. I don't have time. I don't have time for myself.
Right.
Like I don't have time for.
But I kind of think you like it like that, B.
No, it's not. I'm like reacting to my. Just this is my world right now, and I know it's not going to always be like this. Our kids have a couple games a week, so it's like
that in itself.
That's in itself.
That
so
in
you
itself
come
is
home
such
from
a
work,
commitment. And
you
then
come
you
home
still
from
gotta
work,
go.
and then you still go, you driving all over the city to get to these games. You don't get home till 10 something, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I had to tell her. I said, Mama, you know what? I said you're gonna have to bear with me, and maybe even consider.
Taking the tree down?
Yeah, helping us.
Right.
Yeah, like help.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I started the mine was up all of 2018, but I did have DJ the other day. He was home sick a couple of days this week. So I was like, you ain't that sick. You can go in there and, text
the
me. Meanwhile,
ornaments
back in the
down.
race, my baby had a fever. I didn't even know. I was talking to him over the phone. And so when I got home that day, because I was showing property from like 11:30 to like 7 that night, I got home. And he was like, I came in, I said, hey, how you doing? He's like, does it matter? I was like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I'm just saying, it's just absolutely cruel to leave somebody sitting in the room all day sick. Like, he was so upset. And I was like, DJ, you're like 30. Like, seriously, basically, what would I have done with you today? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would I have done? Set you on my
girl,
lap?
but they still,
Oh my God. So
he's a little man, and men, when they get
they're
sick.
needy. But the next day I decided to work from home, and he was needy.
Yeah.
Okay? He was needy. And so in the afternoon when he was feeling a little bit better, I said, can you make me a cup of tea? Because my voice was starting to bother me on Wednesday. And he said, can you make me some? I'm the one sick. He said, I was like, you know what? We're not going to be in this house tomorrow. You got to go to school. That's why I asked Renee to come over there and check his, to see what's what. But other than everything, it's been good. I have been just trying to stay focused, stay positive, and I've had a little bit of a turn of events with some work stuff, and so I'm working through that.
Okay.
And you, Miko, my brother, everybody else said the same thing. So I kept trying to talk to somebody to see if I could get an answer that I would agree with, but it didn't work that way. So sometimes you just have to move. But
yeah, we stayed firm on that.
yeah, y'all really did.
Now you just got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what I got to do. So Lisa told me you guys had a chance to chat.
We did. We chatted, and we're actually meeting today. This is a colleague of ours.
Okay.
We're working with. I'm working with a client. We're looking to build a house. I know you just kind of had your client, got him all situated. So I'm looking to do the same thing with this client. So that's when I said when businesses boom. When I said business is booming, like I'm excited, because of the possibility of just all these situations just kind of coming together, opportunities. Yeah. So I'm in a good place right now in my business.
That's good. Okay. Well, I think we need to just get into this.
We need to get into it. Yeah, we do.
So I talked to Brandy and I said that I think we should talk about Insta-lies and Fake-throughs. And I say that it's basically about how I feel like social media has influenced us so much, from our business to our personal lives and the stress that it brings.
Yeah.
I feel like we are competing with people that we don't even know.
Yeah.
And we're competing with lives that aren't really real.
Yeah.
And it's just the stress that brings. I've struggled with it a little bit, like myself. You feel like I told you I used to get up and I'd look at social media and be like, I'm turning back over. I can't compete. I can't be this positive. I can't be this happy. I'm not in that mood. And is everybody really in love?
Yeah.
Is everybody really a size 6 with a booty that look like you could sit a damn cup on it? Like it just seems like it just like not real.
Yeah.
And until I really was able to get myself wrapped around the fact that it's more of a marketing tool,
right?
Like that's what social media is.
Yeah.
It's a marketing tool, but you don't believe that people really use it to market their lives. Like I know some people that are truly miserable in their marriages.
Yeah.
In relationships. But yet and still, every time I said, like I had a client that reached out to me recently and I was stunned. He was asking me for advice. He's not quite ready to put on the market, but I was like, I just saw he's possibly going through a divorce. And I said, I just saw them on Facebook. Like they look so happy.
So in love.
He said they've been separated 8 months.
Oh, wait.
So, and I told him, I said, I'm just stunned because this kind of speaks to what I've been, when I think about it all the time. He was like, that's 60 seconds of our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like, period.
But you have to have a certain level of maturity to kind of really understand that that's what it is. And I like what you just said as far as understanding that it's more so a marketing tool. People are not going to post all the real stuff. But that's why I can appreciate people like Ashanti, who are using their platform, like your client, Shanti Dawes.
Oh, Shanti.
Yeah,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, who uses her platform to address real issues that people are really struggling with. What is it? Silence the shame.
Silence the shame.
Silence
Yes.
the shame.
Yes.
People are struggling internally, and sometimes people do look to social media for hope, and inspiration. And so it is good for that. But you can get caught up in the competing. I want to post this because this person is posting this, and I got to make myself look this kind of way. And,
Right.
and here's what I can appreciate, because I think people really gravitate to us, to you and I, because I think we do a pretty good job of showing both sides.
Right.
Nobody's going to put, I'm not going to put out there when me and my husband have a argument. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
who does that?
Right.
But I can keep it real and say, you know what? Marriage is hard work.
Right.
Marriage is hard work. And I'm not going to give this illusion that, we happy, 99.999% of the time. No,
Right.
marriage is a hard job.
I'm so glad you talked about the marriage retreat, though, because that gives people can, like, maybe in the city that they're in, they can look into doing that.
No, and you have to.
Yeah.
Girl, you have to. Like, it's funny because when we were going through our premarital counseling, and they give you these stats, like second marriages, 65% of second marriages end up in divorce.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's like you go into it in an uphill battle.
Speaking,
in an uphill battle, knowing
Yeah.
it's a 65% chance you're gonna lose.
Right.
So it's like if you don't take the time to invest in your marriage, to invest in each other, like you're doomed. You're pretty much doomed.
And I think that's where, and I haven't asked Shanti this, but I will, because I'm wondering, because I see a lot more post about suicide.
Yeah.
People that are very, like, social media influencers, people who are very, very well known, and it's always this shock underneath their posts, like, oh my God. And that's why I encourage people to check on. No, I've been guilty of not necessarily being the most open when folks have tried to check on me when I was really going through. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important that we check on people in real life.
Yeah.
Like, we get so caught up in thinking that what you see is real that you don't realize people are really struggling. And I think that's why people feel like, I can't have this conversation with you because on social media I showed you something totally different.
Right.
And having a conversation with you about what's really going on with me will make me have to be real with myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to face me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was saying how this last turn of events with work, with my business, made me have to look at myself. It was very difficult for me when my brother said to me the other day that I was afraid to be better. And I mean, yeah, because he don't really come hard like that often.
Gut check.
Yeah, it was a gut check. And he said, and that's what last night on my talk show that I done called it.
Yeah.
That's where the whole no more bones came from, because
Right.
he was like, you've gotten comfortable with getting bones.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the world? So. And then I started feeling like, well, I'm kind of a fraud, because I'm on here every week telling people to do this and be this, and you can do this and you can do that. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm struggling to get out the damn stable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
But that's so real, Keisha. That's so real. And that's why I'm such an advocate for, one, for having really good friends, a great support system, people that
100%.
can call you out on your stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
it's like, I just had a situation like that recently where a loved one of mine, I won't name no names, but one of my loved ones kind of said some things to me that really, kind of made me reflect and say, okay, you know what? She's right. I gotta acknowledge, like, we're not perfect, and it's okay to own your stuff,
Right.
And it's okay to own it when if somebody call you out in a situation that wasn't necessarily the right thing that you
Right.
could have done things a little differently. So
there's freedom in owning your stuff.
it's so much freedom in it,
Yeah.
and it makes you accountable. But where I was going with that was that, like, I'm such an advocate for therapy.
Yes.
Oh, I'm such an advocate for therapy. And it's like, even just having that little psychotherapist come in our marriage retreat and just ask us those questions. I'm like, there are so many things that we just don't address internally, that we may want to overlook, that we may want to sweep under the rug, but like, at some point you gotta just deal with it.
Right.
You gotta
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
It's hard to have breakthrough
Yeah.
in any area of your life if you choose to not do the work to deal with that situation.
And that's why I said people be having fake throughs, because you telling
Yeah.
yourself that you are well off, you're better off in a situation than you are. You've removed yourself from a situation more so than you really have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to get real with yourself first and foremost.
That made me think about when you were saying, was this on your live where you were saying, you compare your, oh, no, this was on our podcast. You said that, you compare yourself, you watch the show, The 600-Pound Life.
Make myself feel better.
Make yourself feel better.
Right. Like,
right.
It's like, what I'm saying? I'm right here thinking I'm better than them. Right. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, it ain't that much better. I ain't got but a cheeseburger or two away from goddamn being on the being a docu-series myself. So, it's like you just have to be real with yourself. But I tell people, as painful as it is, when you own your stuff, first of all, you take away anybody else's ability to control you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I'm owning this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the work that it takes to do, to get through this and be better.
Yeah.
So you can take away anybody being able to, and then once you do that, then you're in a position to try to, bring along somebody else. That's what I call myself doing. Anytime I talk to people, whether we're discussing things here or on my live, it's because I'm telling you what I know.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you what I know. Like, last night I was telling them girls, like, if y'all ain't sleeping with y'all husband, I'm telling you right now.
Right.
Okay?
So you better mount up.
Right. You better mount up.
The mount up movement. I like that. I like that for real.
You better mount up.
Because that's real, girl.
It's real.
We even talked about that in our marriage retreat.
It's a lot of sexless marriages.
Yes.
Out here. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, how do you choose? How do you make the choice, to withhold yourself from your mate? Because
it's a control mechanism.
It's a control.
It's a control
and
mechanism.
It's not right.
And the reality is one day he gonna stop asking.
Girl,
then
say
you really
that.
in trouble.
Say that.
So I just be trying to tell this is what I know. I'm just telling you what I've been through. It ain't my proudest moment, but I'm just trying to help you as a country folks would say.
Right. That's right.
It's like, so yeah, but yeah, I see a trend. Everything is played out on social media. And I think that especially for our young people, like that's why I knew I couldn't parent. Well, I didn't know until the last year or so. I learned that I could not parent my son the way that I was parented. It couldn't be a do as I say and kind of sort of a little bit, but not fully. I had to understand that every day my son has access to the world with his phone.
That's right.
And they say comparison is the thief of joy. But if adults are struggling with it, what do you think your teenager's gonna do?
That's right.
So I had to learn to be more compassionate with that and understand that he may have some feelings about certain things that I may have normally just kind of, oh boy, you'll be fine. But it's harder. It's harder because, again, we got adults playing out their child support issues and people following other people and seeing what they doing and using it in court. And it's just the drama. And the people who are innocently getting caught up are the kids.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because I read something that they were a 10-year-old committed suicide.
Girl.
I was like 10 years old.
That hit home. Tracy, my girlfriend, one of our college friends, his daughter just committed suicide. 13 years old, girl.
What?
13 years old.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
oh
broke
my gosh.
So it's like, girl, these young people are dealing with so much pressure. And a lot of this does, like you said, it comes from social media.
It comes from social media and it trickles down. And our kids just aren't, I'm not going to say it's a tough thing, but they don't handle really anything anymore. Everything is bullying, first of all. Back in the day, what we call it, the dozens, or we would joan every day. I joned every day almost in my childhood. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's probably why I'm so quick on my feet now. You had to learn to be that way if you were going to survive.
And especially if you were getting joned.
Exactly.
Like I got joned, so
Right.
I was able to
Exactly. You had to learn how to do that. I remember DJ came home I remember when DJ came home in elementary school talking about he had a bully. I said, hey, man, listen. Look, dude, I'm just going to tell you right now, your mama, my reputation, you're not finna mess with my reputation. Come home to me, you got a bully. But
you know what, Keish? What if that's not their personality? I could see how a kid could internalize that. If they're getting bullied and they don't have the quick with it, because we're quick with it, but everybody doesn't have that.
Right, I agree, but I don't recommend doing what I did. I went to school with him the next day.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to see the little mofo for myself and let him know what I did. And he was one of them little kids that had a grown man face.
Yeah.
Like he was already 37 with bloodshot eyes and he was 8. You know what I'm saying?
Just imagine what that little boy
you know
has
what
been
I'm saying?
through.
Like, so it's like, okay, Daquan, I see, what I'm saying, what we got here. But I went to school with DJ the next day. I'm not necessarily saying and kind of like intimidated the little boy, but I had to tell DJ, like, you got to learn how to toughen up.
Stick up for yourself.
You got to stick up for yourself because I can't go. He was embarrassed that I went to school with him. But I'm like, if you don't want me to come back tomorrow, you better learn how to deal with Daquan.
Right. That's
like,
right.
seriously. And most of the time, it's someplace, it's jealousy.
Yeah.
Is what I told him. But I was like, your mama being who she is, you can't be talking about you getting bullied. I just can't tolerate. I just can't. You messing up my SWAT's reputation. Boy, I'm born and raised right off that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looking at me like, this is not about you.
But you know what? And we also also got to be honest with ourselves. Like our kids were raised a lot differently than
Sheltered.
Very
sheltered.
They're HOA kids. Have you ever heard that? HOA
I've never
kids?
heard that before.
Yeah, HOA kids where they live in a nice fancy subdivision.
Oh,
and,
wow.
HOA.
That is so funny. HOA
Yeah,
kids.
HOA
Okay.
kids. Like I was
Okay.
not an HOA kid.
Me
We
either.
lived in a little,
I was a
apartment
latchkey
complex,
kid.
apartment complex.
I was a latchkey kid. Okay.
Same here.
Every
Same
day,
here.
went home, had a key around my neck. I was a latchkey kid. So
Same here.
yeah, you're right. That's the other thing. Our kids are so sheltered because I know people who kids are going off to college and they back home inside that first 12 to 24. And it's like they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do anything on their own.
But we're partially to blame for that.
Of course.
I thought, we've enforced, my husband and I have started enforcing some rules around our house in an effort to promote accountability, and first, I have kind of had my way of doing things. We assign the boys weeks on chores. Somebody do the dishes for a week. Somebody do sweep for a week. Somebody take the trash out for a week. So that was like, just the way that I've been doing things pretty much, all since my kids have been able to do chores. So, but it's always been a matter of me staying on top of them. Somebody left dishes in the sink. So it was frustrating.
Right.
To have to always constantly have to tell you, like, this is your week. Why do I have to keep telling you to do this stuff?
Right.
So it just.
Girl, no, when you posted that Insta story about that cake.
Oh, girl, that cake was just wrong.
But
and
like,
nobody
who would do that?
Nobody
You
confessed to that.
Let me show y'all what nobody did. What nobody in the house has done. They cut it so perfect. They got around to that corner. They look like they just did.
Look like they put their face
right. I was like, who would it did? You were like, nobody did it. Nobody did it.
It just blows my mind the stuff they do. Like I just went through the pantry, and there's like 2 empty boxes of crackers. There's an empty box of pancake batter. Like, why, if you just use the last of this pancake batter, why is it so hard to just throw it away?
It is so.
If you grabbed the last little thing of crackers, why you just can't throw that box
Girl,
away?
I was having a craving the other night for some cereal, so I looked in the refrigerator. I was like, okay, good, got milk. I got up there, I saw the box of cereal. I was excited. Girl, I picked that thing. It was so light. It did just like this. I was like, now, why would DJ put an empty box back up in the freaking pan? It drives me crazy. Like, why do you do that kind of stuff? Yesterday, I came in. I said, how long are you gonna look at this pizza box?
Yeah.
Like, what are you planning to do with the pizza box? Are you gonna make a school project out of the pizza box?
Well, girl, I'm gonna tell you, my husband just flipped the script because he enforced something that has proven to be so freaking effective. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm just glad I supported him in this because it is working. So we decided to switch it up. So we gave everybody somebody has a week to do everything. So you taking out the trash, you doing the dishes, you sweeping, you doing all that for 1 week.
Okay.
So the other three kids, they get a break.
Right.
But you gotta stay on top of your chores for that week. If you don't do it, and then everybody has to wash their own dish, right? So the only person that's washing dishes is like you washing dishes after me when I cook.
Right.
But everybody else has to wash out their own dish.
Okay.
So our countertop should be spotless, should no dishes be left in the sink. And then on top of that, if somebody don't take out the trash, if somebody does not do their dishes, girl, he put a padlock on that refrigerator.
What?
He put a padlock and a lock and chain on that refrigerator.
Are you serious?
He sure did. And you know what? It took us after the first week and a half. It broke them. It broke them.
They couldn't eat.
They couldn't eat.
If they didn't do their chores.
Girl, they didn't do their chores. But when I tell you, it just blew my mind because, like, I can go in my kitchen now. I never see a dish on my countertop. I never see a dish in the sink. Like, I've never had this experience before.
But that's because a man did it. It's like I tell people all the time.
They just respond so differently to men.
They respond differently to men. Like, my DJ was home sick a couple of days this week. And I said to him, when I walked in that room, first of all, the door was hardly open because there was so much so much stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
And I said, DJ, you don't do this at your uncle's house. Why don't you respect my house the way you respect your uncle's house? And my brother ain't even the type. He's not a dictatorship at his house. Like,
right.
But he has OCD, and that room better be right.
Yeah.
So don't keep that same energy. It makes me feel disrespected.
Yeah.
And I know, but the reality is boys respond to men differently.
They do.
And that's why sometimes, and I'm gonna get on the sisters a little bit here, when I see sisters playing games with these kids and not allowing their fathers to be there because you mad because he done moved on or whatever the case may be, you're only hurting your child.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it is, because at the end of the day, you picked him.
That's right.
So whatever he is or he ain't, you picked him. You chose to have a child with him. And it's not fair to hold that decision that you have made against a child, and boy or girl.
Yeah.
especially boys though,
Yeah.
but boy or girl, because if you keep a girl away from her father, then you creating abandonment issues for her.
That's
whatever
right.
lies that you spewing to her,
Yeah.
you're creating issues. So when it's time for her to meet that first guy, the first guy to make her feel whatever it is she's missing from daddy is who she's going to connect
Yep.
with, and he could be a bum.
Good or bad. Yep.
Good or bad.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you know, I mean, I got off on a little tangent there, but I mean, it's
But that's
just
real.
so many.
That's real.
So many of these kids. So many kids are, you know, on my little show a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how I called it DNA matters.
Mm-hmm.
And folks just be out here having babies with anybody. I mean, like, oh my goodness. But and I'm talking about some people was in their feelings about that show, honey. I was like, I don't give a doggone. I said it, and I said what I said. I stand by it. Y'all need to stop having all these babies with all these different people. But and just not even thinking about marriage. Like I said last night, don't even tell nobody somebody's your fiance after 6 years. Like that's your boyfriend or whatever it is y'all doing, because the engagement, it really is supposed to, just FYI, it's the time period to plan the wedding.
Yeah.
It's not to decide whether or not you want to get married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when people be talking about we've been engaged 6 years, 7 years, 3 babies later, I had a girl say that on my live. She said, we got 3 kids, we've been together 8 years. How do I get him to, you know, pull the trigger on marriage? And I was like, sis, forget it.
Yeah.
You've given him everything he needs without it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But you know, that was the point that we made at the marriage retreat. Our younger generation, they don't see the real value in marriage, and it's like they don't see
It's
enough.
our fault,
They don't
though.
see enough examples. They don't see enough good examples of it.
Yeah.
Of course, they also see most of their parents are divorced.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we have
Yeah.
to promote. We got to do a better job of promoting, you know, the benefits of marriage.
Right.
Because they just don't see that. You
Right.
see more negative than you see good.
Right. And I mean, now we have it where it's a trophy to be a baby mama.
Yeah.
Like it's you know, it's like, you know, this is a good thing. And I don't mean just one, I'm talking about 2, 3 times. But you're right. A lot of it, they just don't see value, because I hear them say, well, he could leave. That's not going to keep anybody.
Yeah.
You know, he could leave even if we are married. My parents would never get, you know, so you're right. A lot of it comes from what we haven't taught them that there's value in marriage. And we come from a generation where if you didn't get married, you would look crazy.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be around having babies.
Can't do it.
I couldn't. I remember when I was gonna move in with that girl, my mom had I had just gone out there and walked the streets.
But you know what? And because of that, we, you know, I don't want to say we put pressure on our men, but we made it clear that like the end result is gonna be marriage.
Yeah, I told Darren when I moved in with him, you got a year,
Yeah.
a year, and you're not married in a year. And I mean, when I say he took 11 months, 30 days, and 12 hours, 2 seconds to propose, but I was not gonna just be living with you,
Yeah.
because I already done broke my mama's heart,
But that's all about the standards that you had set. you
right?
know?
Because my daddy told me so.
But if women aren't really doing that these days.
Right.
So
I agree.
that's the problem. That's the challenge.
Well, a lot of them don't have daddies in their lives.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they latch on to whatever guy. And then it's like you finally decide to propose 20 years or 10 years later when he done been rolled hard and put up wet and he look a mess. And all of a sudden I'm supposed to be celebrating. Negro, please. It's like he not even shiny and new no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like he ain't got no job. When I met him, he had a job. When I met him, he was hot rapper, you know, or whatever. I was like, child, I don't know. I don't know if I could be the same kind of happy. I probably would just act like I was because we finally married. But I really inside, I'd be like, nigga, you made me wait all this time. And you ain't
don't
even
even
got
feel
nothing.
the same.
Girl, so let me ask you this. Okay, so speaking of social media, you know, everybody on social media seems to have money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had somebody ask me this last night about real estate. Thought it was just interesting. He said, why do you think that the black people who sell real estate, he said black people who sell real estate always flossing on social media, but the white agents don't do that?
You know what? I think it's just something about our culture.
I say,
You know,
okay, so
it
we
is.
think the same thing.
It's culture
Yeah.
based. You know, because the real 80% of 20% of the agents in our business
80%
are
of the-
doing 80% of the business.
Correct.
That's fact.
Right.
You know? So a lot of people kind of, but you know what? That's a hard line to walk, because also in this industry, you want to make you want the perception to be that you're doing well so that you attract more business, right?
Right, of
So you know,
course.
you always hear that term, fake it till you make it.
Right.
So some of that does play into it. You want to look the part.
Yeah.
However, you know, you also got to be doing the work too in order to like really grow your business. Some people, there are some agents or Instagram agents that really ain't doing the business that you think they're doing.
That you think they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I did say though is that oftentimes we have to do more to earn the business than other races have to do to earn the business.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact, like a white agent can drive a Honda and y'all are still go do business with them as black folks.
Yeah.
But we got to be basically being chauffeured up to show you your $200,000
what's up
house
with
and you to pick
that?
us.
You know what I'm saying?
And again, it's a thing where we require more of our own than we do sometimes with
Yeah.
others. And it's sometimes frustrating to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was the other thing. But I agree with you. I said, I think it's a cultural thing. You know,
Yeah.
we haven't had something for so long, and it's like you finally get something, and you do have to look more the part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact. That's just what it is. But yeah, everybody on social media look like they got money, but everybody, you know, another thing I've been seeing on social media, people be putting up birthday fundraisers for their kids. What's up with that? Have you seen that?
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, they put up their child's cash app. Have you seen that, Keyshawn? Our girl did that the other day and was like, I can't wait to get to school. I want to be able to, I know my baby gonna be excited.
People really abusing this cash app and this GoFundMe stuff.
Well, it's
They
begging.
abusing it.
It's
Yeah.
begging. For
Yeah.
all intents and purposes, like, that's your child. Why should I give your child a
You know
birthday gift? I
what?
don't even know them.
And if you don't have it in that moment, sometimes it's okay. Like I look back. That's so funny. I had this conversation with my boys, and I guess maybe we can transition about our kids did this week.
Yeah.
But I had this conversation with Jaden, Chase, and Dylan when they were all back home for Christmas, and they was like, "Mama, I remember a few Christmases where we ain't getting nothing. You gave us a Bible." You know, and I'm like, dang, I don't remember y'all not getting nothing now. I don't remember
You
that.
said they said you gave so that way they was it true?
Girl, I don't remember that. I don't recall. I mean, but here's the thing, like, even if I was struggling in that moment, I'ma do what I can. I'm not about to go out asking everybody to pitch in.
Right,
Like, that's not their responsibility. These are my children.
Exactly.
And sometimes your kids need to see, like, you know, we're going
It's
through
tight.
a hard time.
That's right.
Like, I'm not gonna be out here in front and fake like you gonna get all these gifts when I'm not in that position.
Right, exactly.
So, and that's okay too.
Right, absolutely. They need to know that's real life.
Yeah.
That's real life. DJ sitting over there this time, I think I'm gonna get me a job. I'm gonna apply for DB. I said, you should. You need to. I mean, like, why we don't, that's the one good thing I've heard you say this week. Apply. What do I need to sign?
Girl, yeah, mine too are so stuck on, you know, because Jaden got an older charger, you know, and it may give him problems on occasion here or there. He'll have to get, get a jump or may have some little issues there. But, and he said sometimes his friends will joan him because of, you know, the issues he has with his car. But I'm like, you know what? You don't have a car note. I said, some of them, some of your teammates over there got $300, $400, $500 car notes. Y'all get a little $800 check a month.
And they paying all of it for
they
a car
pay, like,
note.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. You shouldn't have a car note in
Right.
college. So I'm
that's
like,
too much
I
pressure.
said, listen, I didn't have a car until I was 25 years old. I went
Okay.
throughout college,
Right.
not having a car. So trust me, I'm not about to buy, 2018 Charger just because you think you should have it, even if I can afford it.
Right.
I'm sorry. There are some
Exactly.
things that you got to earn, and it's okay to get by with not with having a car that just gets you to point A and B. Like, that's okay.
Right,
You got to
exactly.
instill those kind of values in your kids. They shouldn't just feel like, oh, just because I got it, you gonna get every single. No, you don't have to have a 2018 Charger.
like one of my clients told her kids, like, this my money.
Okay.
I'm successful.
Right.
You're not.
Girl, say that.
And I had another client that bought his daughter a brand new Mercedes for her graduation gift when she went off to college last August. Guess what? It's been totaled. She had 2 accidents, and he knew it on the front end, like she can't drive. 2 accidents on the front end, and then finally totaled it.
Oh my.
Like, and for what?
Girl,
It's like at the end of the day. So DJ got something. He gonna be able to take that till he buy him a car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right
Yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
gonna be that, and he gonna be able to drive that till the wheels fall off.
Yep.
I mean, it won't be nothing else I get. But yeah, I do. I thought it was so. It was very
That's extreme.
It was
That's
very
extreme.
off-putting to
Yeah.
me. And she wrote this long thing about it, and I was like, I don't think that's appropriate to
No,
ask
it's not-
somebody
it's
to
not
give.
appropriate.
I don't even like when I see people put up their cash app on their birthday. I think
Yeah.
it's tacky.
Yeah, I do
but
too.
to sit up there and ask somebody to give to your child that may have never met them, I mean, is there a physical ailment? Are they going through something? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just not giving
Girl,
just because.
that's a generational thing. That's too much. It's just
But
too much.
but yeah, so girl, but last I got this thing I be doing that called Kicking It with Keisha. I decided
love
to
it.
label
and when
it.
I can catch it, girl, because we got a lot going
Right,
on in our
exactly,
household.
of course.
But when I'm able to catch it, I'm like, girl, this is hilarious. It's hilarious. You call your little dysfunctional
My little
family.
dysfunctional family, girl.
Yes.
Every Thursday night, 9:00 is what I'm trying to strive to do. But I get on there sometimes, and then I get mad with them. Like, I don't even want to feel like talking to y'all. They be like, "Wait a minute, don't go." But yes, our kids did this week. DJ, just other than being sick, he hadn't really done anything. But I'm proud to hear him say he wants to get a job. But he's thinking about trying to get a job at DBAT where he's always training anyway. So I said that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's even if DJ just works 10 hours a week.
Right.
4 hours. I just want him to know what it's like to get up, be responsible,
That's
earn.
right.
Because first of all, when you see how long it take to earn $60,
Girl. You got a whole, you have a whole nother appreciation.
You're going to have a whole nother appreciation. Because my brother said to me the other day, he was like, I gave nephew $60 2 days ago. And the day he came here asking for 20. And I said, well, I gave him 50. So I'm like, what is...
blowing through that money.
So I said, what are you doing, DJ? Like, what are you doing? He talking about, well, your food cost $35 of the 50 that you gave me. I was like, motherfucker, it was my money. Right. So don't try to throw in my face, what you done did for me. Oh, girl, he is more than a notion. But he's focused right now, man. I'm super proud of him. So one of the things that he had last week, a loan officer with Southeast sent me a screenshot and was like, isn't this your son? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, Lord. You see that come up. You like, Lord. Oh, Lord. He said, yeah, I saw this on Twitter because all I could see was the screenshot.
Yeah.
I hadn't opened up the video.
Yeah.
And I said, what is it? And he said, because I didn't have Twitter. I got it now. He said, nothing. He said he's pitching and he's getting a lot of views on this video. So I finally figured out how to get on there. And girl, his pitching coach posted a video of him pitching. And in 24 hours, he had 25,000 views.
Wow.
And so he started getting all this attention from coach. That's why I called you the other day. Like, what is this? Am I supposed, so on and so forth. So it was a really exciting little moment. So hopefully that continues to follow suit.
Oh, it will.
But he had,
that has given him exposure. So now he's on those coaches' radar.
Right, exactly. Yeah. He even had a couple of scouts to reach out to him too. So it was interesting, and he needed it. Yeah. I said, God is so timely with what he gives, because DJ has felt like people don't really believe in him, and that he has something to prove. And I don't know if it's because his dad isn't here to to encourage him, to let him know what he's capable of. But he definitely be feeling some type of way. And so I think for him to get that kind of attention was a good thing.
He got a chip on his shoulder.
Yes,
and that's a good thing.
He does.
That's a good thing.
That's what everybody is saying. That's exactly what I said. I said, DJ got a chip on his shoulder, but my brother was saying the same. He said, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's going to make him keep working.
Make him stay hungry.
Exactly. How's Jaden going with everything?
Girl, oh my God. When I tell you, so, I just had, just went down to UGA this week to speak to about 200 young student
They gave
athletes.
You some good stuff?
Girl, they did.
That stuff was cute.
Oh my God. So I love my school, and any opportunity I have, they invited me back to come speak to all the young student athletes about how to transition into life after sports.
Oh,
so it was called, the name of the event was More Than My Sport. So it was awesome. Holly Rowe was our commentator. She was
who is Holly Rowe?
Holly Rowe she's a very colorful ESPN analyst. Okay. So she's been on the ESPN network since 1988. So if you watch sports, you've seen her, reporting any college sport, even professional sports. So she's been all over the world doing that. Uh-huh. So, but then there were two other panelists who, esteemed, former student athletes. And girl, it was just so good. So it was all the female student athletes. It's a women's initiative. And then my one son was in there.
Oh, so cute.
So it was so cute, girl.
I love that. Like, that's legacy.
Yes.
Like, he's there where you were.
Yeah.
And even where his dad was.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was so awesome. It was so awesome. So we got a chance to hang out and talk. And when I tell you, just his mindset right now and what he went through last year, being red-shirted, and that was a tough year for him.
Yeah.
He learned a lot about himself. He had to own some of the stuff that he, was and was not doing. But he's right now in a space where I'm like, God is just moving in his life.
I watch his posts.
Oh my
I watch
God.
how he responds to certain things I post.
Yeah.
And then I'll, message him to check on him and stuff like that. And he'll be like, I'm good, auntie. It's a trial, but I ain't gonna let it da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So he's always, I love all your boys, but Jaden is just so sweet.
He's a good one. He's a good one. He just got finished reading this book that I had given him. It's called Detours by Tony Evans. And it talks about how God will allow certain detours to happen in your life to put you on a path that you're supposed to be on, or have you go through certain hardships or certain trials or whatever. And he just finished that book, girl, and he was able to speak life into our other son, Chase. And Chase was dealing with some things. He was allowing some distractions to kind of take place in his life that were taking him off of his path. And girl, he showed me the exchange that he and Chase had. And girl, it brought me to tears. Aww. It brought me to tears because it just showed me how it just feels so good to see that, you raise your children, you instill certain values in them. And then, but for them to have their own personal relationship with God and you see how God is moving in their life, it just moved me to a point where I'm like, man, God is just so good. So the boys are doing good. They're being held accountable more. And, I'm like, we ain't got but so much more time with them in this house.
That's right.
Before they're out in the world doing their own thing. So I'm so grateful my husband and I have just kind of, I'm allowing him to lead and do things. And even doing that is just showing me, God, like, when things are in order in the way that they should be, when you allow things to be in the order in which they should be, like things really happen the way, God moves, and just even me being resistant as a wife to some of the things that the wisdom that my husband has. That's what I'm saying. Like this year has been a year of just I've learned a lot about myself. I've really learned.
You mean in 2019?
18, going into 19.
Yeah.
Just me personally as it relates to my relationship, my kids, and just so it's just been a good time for me to just kind of take a step back, acknowledge some of the things that I need to own in my own personal life. I'm so prideful, and sometimes my ego will get in the way of certain things, and just some tuning up that God may want you to do before he promotes you. And I see, God, Jaden kind of spoke some of the visions that God has kind of placed in his heart and his spirit. And he said, Mama, I can't tell everybody this. It's like it's certain things that you just got to hold on to.
Amen.
And just let them unfold.
Yes.
And then let God get the glory for them. Don't
Right.
tell too many people. And I'm like,
Right.
man, Jaden, I'm with you.
Right.
Girl, he's speaking with just such wisdom. And I'm
maturity.
like, and maturity. It was just like, it was mind blowing to me. So I'm just, it put me in a space where I'm like, just thank you. I was just so grateful in that moment just to see how God is using him. So
I think if that's one thing that we both have done, surely, is that gave our sons a foundation of faith.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to have to turn to it often.
Yes.
And God. And my son, I know when everything first happened with his dad, he was 6 going on 7. And I had bought him this Bible for children where it was like, where he could relate to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I used to watch DJ when I had a camera in his room back then. That I would watch him sit there every night and read that book and read that book and read that book because he was trying to gain some understanding.
Yeah.
Like, how's my dad here one day and then he just go to work and don't come home.
Yeah.
As in a 7-year-old mind, it's hard to
process
that.
Yeah.
Because it was hard for me to process as an adult. But I know him having that foundation of faith and me telling him that all about God and having a relationship with God. I think that is truly what has sustained him.
Oh, it has. It has.
Yeah.
It has.
Seriously.
Girl,
I did that with him even when I was struggling.
Yeah.
I made sure he knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because I went through some times where I struggled, and you gonna have detours. I need to get that book.
Oh, girl, such a good book.
Yeah.
And I blessed all of our young men with it. And it's, you do it in your time, and he was just the first one to finish it. And I could just see the fruits of the things that he's learned from it. But yeah, that's a good one you want to get. Detours by Tony Evans. That's a good one.
Well, girl,
Well, I think we done talked y'all to death.
we have. But we got to do a Mom on the Move. A Mom on the Move for this week.
Oh my God. OMG, OMG, OMG.
What's our Mom on the Move
Girl,
for this
it's
week?
been so much going on in our worlds. We forgot to.
We forgot to read the emails to see who's going to be this week's Mom on
Yes.
the Move.
So y'all got to look forward our head, not our hearts.
Yes.
And maybe next week we're going to have to honor 2 mamas on the move.
Yeah, we might have to do 2 Mamas on the Move next week, but y'all, like B said, and we are going to aim. We're actually working on some. Obviously, putting stuff out here because then we got to be held accountable. Some merchandise,
Yeah.
because we want you guys to be, all the mamas on the moves, or the men who know your wives or your women are mamas on the move. We want you to be able to gift stuff to them. So we're working on merch for you guys, merchandise, and we're excited about sharing that with you all soon. And Brandy and I are definitely gonna do a 20 live podcast.
20 or 25.
20 or 25. Right now.
One of them.
25, 20 or 25. But between 20 and 25, 20 or 25, we're going to do a live podcast because people be asking me that on my live. I thought y'all were going to do a live podcast.
Yeah.
Going to do a live podcast. And me, you, and Miko, like, what are we doing?
Girl, we doing something. We are going to do our brunch in February. So
Okay.
y'all stay on the lookout for that. So
Right.
that's coming. The Realtors Outlet brunch.
Yes,
So
yeah. We're excited
lunch and
about
brunch. Learning brunch, something like that. It'll be coming out soon. So look out for it.
Exactly. So we got a lot of things popping, and we hope you guys are. I personally have not really been able to hang on to none of those. That's why I really do know. What do you call them? Revelations? No, that's the Bible. Resolutions.
Yeah.
I'm starting February 1st. For those of you who want to start with me on February 1st. My new year, we officially start February 1st, so I will see y'all then. But until next time.
Keep moving, mama.